Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to Invictus Racing League. This is F1, our F1 division, top of the tree. And my name is Webbo. I'm here to take you through tonight's race, and I am making my return to the league after being absent last week. But thankfully, joining me in the commentary box after manning the station all by himself last week is Lightning.
Hello, everyone. Nice to have you back, Webbo.
Yes, good to be back. Thanks, Lightning. Good to be here. And just a quick thank you to our sponsors, who are Nelcut Hall Hotel and Country Club. We have Driver61, Gridfinder.com, and of course GT Omega. But Lightning, perhaps you could help me catch up with what went down last week.
Absolutely. It was possibly one of the best races I've seen from Invictus. It was seriously fantastic. We had an all race long battle for the top three. And for the first half of the race, it was for the top four were battling for the lead. But in the end, in the last 3 laps, it all unravelled. We had Living Wall, Jelly, and Luke Lira all battling for the win. But Luke was on seriously worn-out medium tyres, and he got a puncture on the last lap. So He went from P1 to P3, and then got a puncture to P5, which was quite heartbreaking for him. And Jelly managed to save up his ERS for the last few laps and managed to get an overtake done and bolt away by 1.3 seconds to Living Wall. But sadly, Jelly had readied up too early by 1.5 minutes before the race had started, meaning he got a 5-second penalty and was demoted to P2, meaning Living Wall was our round 1 race winner. And to finish off the podium was Speed Queen, who managed to make a fantastic recovery, always got excellent racecraft, and she got P3, followed by Max, P4, both for Alpine.
Fantastic. Well, definitely some names I'm familiar with from last season's F1, but some new ones as well in there, particularly.
Yes.
Helm
Luke and Jelly. So they're incredibly fast, and I'm looking forward to seeing them race at the front.
Well, point of note as well. Are we saying War Islander or Warislander?
Don't know.
Okay.
Because I pronounced it Warislander, and I think he said you don't need to pronounce it like that, and then he spelt it the same way as it's written, so I still don't know.
Well, it looks like War Islander to me.
That's a very good point.
Which it could be.
You do know that I can't read, so.
This is true. Well, yeah, absolutely. Looking to see who can take the title this year with our champion not here to defend from F1, but lots of familiar names, and it sounds like no less racing. Say hello if you're joining us in the live chat. I haven't heard from Abby yet. Was she in attendance last week?
She certainly was. Straight away, one of the first comments supporting Burmeister, so that was very sweet.
Of course. We need to know who to give the fan boost to in our streams. So you do need to let us know who you're here to support and who's got the most support. Sappytron is the first one to say hello, but I don't know who he's here supporting. And looks like the awkwardly written War Islander is going to be the first one out there on track around this track. Lightning that claims many victims in league racing.
It certainly does, and War Islander in the previous year's season's championship winning Alfa Romeo.
True.
A bit of a lock up into turn 1 there, but gets a nice exit. Heading through Curva Grande, lovely corner this. So much speed you can get, and if you're brave enough, a nice lunge into the chicane. Late braking, don't hit that curve because it will fly, it'll make you fly. Then heading into Lesmo 1. Got to keep to the inside and then try not to clip the grass on the exit. Nice apex there as well into Lesmo 2. And on the,
so we're taking it quite gently through the Lesmos.
Yeah, it was quite gentle, but it is a bank lap, I guess, so no need to risk it all at the moment.
As he runs completely over the sausage curves.
Yeah, that was quite brave.
Yeah.
So going from not risking it all to risking it all in just a few corners, and then through Parabolica. Nice exit, keep to the inside for the shortest run to the line. A very good banker lap here for War
Nice
Islander.
and clean, yeah.
20.1.
Who else have we
Very
got
nice.
out there? Jelly goes second immediately, just a tenth slower. Doran is about to cross the line in provisionally third place, and we've got Taking Else, who goes to the line and gets fourth, slightly slower again than him. And we've got Haum out there for the LFR team. I've commentated over Haum in other esports events, but not through the course of a league, so we'll see just how quick he can be over a season, I should say. Luke Bailey, Reshka put laps in, as has
MV Bull.
MV Bull. We're going to go with MV Bull. Very well. The perennial Matty is out on an outlap at the moment, but we'll stick with Haum as we go into Ascari. Feel like drivers taking a small amount of curb on the first part and a little bit too much on the second part, possibly here at Lightning. It's very, very tricky balancing act.
The curves around this track are so dangerous. Like any angle that you take that isn't spot on perfect as the game designs it to be will launch you into the air.
Straight into the pole position goes Haum. Beautiful stuff. We see Speed Queen out on mediums, very much what we're used to seeing in F1. Speed Queen does like to keep her powder dry when it comes to revealing her outright pace too early on. Delange, 120.392, goes P4 in the Red Bull, and his teammate Livingwall is invalidated his lap through Ascari, unfortunately. So we'll follow Speed Queen and see what the grip's like lightning out there.
Well, on those medium tyres, I'm not sure how fast they'll be around Monza. I've heard lots of complaints about these tyres, in race condition at least, that they're not that fast. But better than the hards, I guess.
It feels like maybe, yeah, it was a calm down lap. I thought it was a warm up lap, but it's
Me too.
she has cooled down. A nice new helmet design, look very comic book like.
Yeah, it is quite nice.
We've got Esports Championship joining us in the chat, who says, "Come on, Luke." And MS, way to go here. I'm not sure who he means by MS. But certainly a fan of Luke, as Simply 90 in the unfortunately liveried Haas right now goes through Lesmo 2. And unfortunately, we don't really have any option other than to use the liveries on the cars, unless we asked everybody to change to custom cars, and then there'd be all kinds of complaints. But Simply 90 surviving Ascari this time out.
Bit of a wobble on the exit there.
I understand we've got a tribute out there tonight. So Esports Championship says medium soft is his MS comment.
Yeah.
I understand now. Good stuff.
That
A
does
little
make
bit
sense.
slow off the mark there. Simply 10th is his time so far. So we have got some sort of a tribute. You mentioned, was it Burmeister?
Burmeister
who is wearing a special helmet
Baker.
tonight.
Yeah, Burmeister and Baker. So a tribute to Ukraine.
Mr. Consistency from last season, Max, goes P3,
Yeah.
and I'm tempted to say maybe he's certainly got a yellow helmet in a blue Alpine. So
Max in the Alpine, they are Constructors Championship leaders.
fantastic.
Yeah,
And you
by
don't
1
often
point
say that
3.
about the Alpine team in
No,
league
you do
racing.
not.
I do find the best drivers tend to shy away from the Alpine car for whatever reason. But there's
That's
a
it, I
little
love
bit of slipstreaming going on between Max and Speed Queen. Very interesting to see those two regular podium sitters from last season as teammates now, and
very,
playing the team game already.
Jelly going through the second chicane, cutting it, made a bit of a mistake there.
Let's check in with Jelly, because he was on the pace pretty early on. We know. What about War Islander, who's on a lap? Well, that joined him and it just went wrong, unfortunately, through the Retifilio. Retifilio? No, the Della Roggia, the second chicane on the track.
I'll take your word for it.
MV Bull is just starting his lap. He's also in the Haas car.
Look at how close it is between the top 5. Well, top 6 actually.
Fantastic stuff. Super competition here at Invictus F1 division. Luke Lira is asking for an invitation. He still hasn't got himself into the lobby. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we want to give him an invite, do we?
No, we do. He qualified on pole last race.
But do we want the glitch? is the question.
I think no, they did fix the glitch in the most recent update, I think.
We shall be the guinea pig beta testers of that fix then, and we'll see if it works.
I want him in, but I don't think the rest of the grid does, considering how fast he is.
No, MV Ball then through Ascari, having to lift significantly through there, just getting the line ever so slightly wrong. I'm very surprised to have not heard from Abby yet, Burmeister's #1 fan, and the chat feels lonely without Abby around, I have to say. MV Bull then labouring those gears. No, he's on his way into the pits, doesn't even want to finish that one off. However, going through the Parabolica and out to actually set a lap on this run comes Speed Queen. P7 on soft tyres, P7 on soft tyres for Speed Queen, and Helm, I believe, is attacking the lap. He's got a purple first sector with 7.5 minutes left on the clock. Very patient.
I see some debris from, I think it was Jelly, who made a huge mistake on the exit of Ascari and broken his front wing on the barriers.
Well, it didn't slow Luke Bailey down, who goes provisional pole, taking it away from Helm, who's on his lap at the moment. Purple first sector, as I mentioned, runs mega wide through Ascari, holds on, keeps the lap alive, but a much slower approach. War Islander 120.0. We're knocking on the door lightning of the 119s here already.
Looking forward to seeing these last few laps in qualifying.
Helm gives up the lap.
Oh.
So it wasn't happening. Delange heading down the back straight towards Parabolica now in the Red Bull from P7. He's got enough up on the lap to gain some significant places already. It's P4 for Delange, 20.227. Jelly says he was up 2.5 tenths.
Oh, before the crash. Well, 2.5 tenths would give him a 120.003, that is. So even closer to the 119s. So we know that it's in the driver's ability to get that, but it's all about hooking it up and seeing if they don't make the mistakes in the last lap. Just where the pressure kicks in. The Living Wall.
Go ahead.
Currently last. Not set a lap yet. 5 minutes to go in qualifying.
And he's come in the pits as well. Reshka P8 in the Williams. Reshka 120.369. And esports championship. I need a new name to call him because it's going to be confusing. The Champ. Yeah, let's go with Champ. Champ says, come on, Luke, there's a 19 there easily. Rents says the second chicane will have more carnage. It's always Ascari, the carnage chicane around here. I mean, it's not alone, but if you add them all up, it really is. Then Bakker, I think Bakker on his way to finish a lap here. No, he's bailing out of it. It's Delange and War Islander are warming up or on their way into the pits, getting out of the way, but I presume now Bakker is on his way in, sporting a blue and yellow helmet as well. I don't know how many people have changed their colours for tonight, but it's good to see.
It is.
So
I think,
we've got the lull coming, Lightning, I think, now.
Yeah, everybody's coming out of the pits. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All but one.
Waiting on Living Wall to show his hand. Looks like just got Simply 90 finishing off an outlap and going to have the track all to himself with just maybe an Alpine just ahead on the circuit of Max. So Max is out there on an outlap, but we'll stick with Simply 90 from P13. The track already rubbering up on the way into Retafilio. Now the champ wants us to call him Simon Palmer, which
okay,
is not going to be very easy if your handle is champ. So well, it's good to have you here regardless, but maybe log in next time under your personal account so we can address you in a way that makes sense to everybody watching along. And you're very welcome, welcome to everybody joining us, of course, for this F1 round 2 of the season.
It's actually Yana Waltman in disguise.
Is it?
Yeah, I reckon.
Simply 90, 1/10 faster than he's been before. He might get himself into the 1 minute 20s. We have currently within 0.7 of a second 12 drivers, and the top lap still haven't come in, and we're still waiting to see what Living Wall has got, and we won't see Luke Lira at the moment either. So Simply 90 to the line. An improvement, a big improvement for Simply 90. Unfortunately, not represented on the grid position, but defending that 12th place significantly. Max then on a lap. He's the first of the top runners to be actually attacking a lap, and he's 1300ths faster than he's been before. Burmeister gets out the way. Gonna have to get used to Burmeister in a Ferrari. Max.
Yeah, it's slightly different.
Yeah.
And been either promoted or demoted, considering Alfa Romeo were the constructors' champions.
That's true.
You know how to think of it.
Here comes then Max as he crosses the timing beam. He's gained a further 300ths, making it 400ths faster, which would be enough to see him leapfrog Delange. Not sure he would be quite on terms with Helm just yet. Waiting for those outlaps to turn into fast laps for the final runs here in qualifying. War Islander holds the pole, just over 1 minute 20. Max gets a 1:20.015 with a monster final sector, and that's how it's done. A nice traffic-free run, but that also means Lightning no tow.
Yeah, that is true. Meanwhile, Living Wall got a bit of a tow from Simply 90 on the last straight, and he goes P2.
That's how you do it in style from Living Wall. Still waiting for all those outlaps at the front of the field to be registered. And it's Luke Bailey who's first out there. Luke Bailey then to start his flying lap, and we'll stay with him as long as he's positive. Then it's Reshka next, and War Islander. Not easy.
Bit of a mistake through the first chicane for Luke Bailey. Qualified at the rear of the grid and had a DNF last round, so this is his chance to show his true pace.
Looks like War Islander with a bit of oversteer through the first chicane as well. But Luke Bailey is positive on the Delta already. War Islander had the same level of oversteer that Luke Bailey had. Very interesting.
Very wide there for Luke, but he manages not to invalidate somehow, but he does touch the grass on the exit of Lesmo 1, so that won't help him.
Bakker has gone fourth, slotting in between War Islander and Luke Bailey, who we ride with. Is about to cross the second timing beam, and the lap's gone. The lap has gone. It looks like Helm is still on his outlap and might be the final driver to be on a push lap. War Islander 500ths faster. He's almost on the ragged edge through Mascari as he pushes to try and get into the 1 minute 19s. It looks like Helm has started his final lap as well. War Islander came so close to the back of another driver as he tried to get every moment of the slipstream. Here we go then to the line. How much has the track improved? Straight to pole. And look at that 1,000th of a second faster. as Warlander grabs pole by 1,000th of a second. Helm is 27 thousandths faster through sector 1. I think he's the only one likely to challenge here, unless, you know, Delange has gone in the pits. Where's Jelly? Jelly is slow. So it's Helm. I'm pretty sure, Lightning, it's only Helm who can do this.
And he's about to end sector 2, so we'll be able to see how much he's up by. This is critical. He only needs just about over 1/10 and a half. He is that much quicker.
Amazing stuff!
Oh my goodness!
Oh dear me!
Oh my goodness me! He does the same mistake as his teammate does.
What a finish to qualifying! I'm going to blow my top before we've even got onto the grid. Incredible stuff. He had it. He had it in the bag.
He actually had it. He just needed to stay the same amount up.
Absolutely amazing.
Oh my goodness me. Just shows the pressure does make you crumble sometimes.
Crazy, crazy stuff. 1,000th of a second separating the front row War Islander from Max, who has picked up some speed post in the off season. Living Wall P3 from Bakker and Luke Bailey. Helm M. Doran showing strong in P7, with Speed Queen unfortunately demoted down to 8th, but with good solid pace, especially on those medium tyres. There we go. Simon has logged out and back in just to help us, which is awesome. Rents is amazed at what we're seeing. So is Max. Craig, the boss, joins us and says qualifying is ridiculously close again tonight. You're absolutely spot on there.
I mean,
Jelly is hating the game, but we're loving this.
P11 is only 3/10 off pole position.
Yeah.
That's just...
I don't think I'm not sure I've ever seen 11 drivers within 3/10.
The first round of F1, we saw, I think, the top 11 covered by 8/10, and then F2 was the whole grid covered by a second, and now it's
tremendous.
Top 11 covered by 3/10.
Well, go ahead for us, Lightning, and take us through the grid.
Okay.
I've already read it out once.
So, for on pole position, we have War Islander with a 120.014, followed by Max, only 1 millisecond away. Then Living Wall, our previous round's race winner, followed by Bakker, Luke Bailey, Jaume with that terrible mistake on the last lap, M. Doran, Speed Queen, Delange, Jelly, Reshka, Els, Burmeister, Simply 90, Matty, and MV Bull in last.
Another Jamaican driver, MV Bull. I've only ever commentated over one other Jamaican driver. But we should also be expecting Luke Lira on the way. I saw him join the session just at the end, just at close of proceedings. And there he is on the tower. And, well, I'm not quite sure what to expect from this.
From last round, Luke, he was amazing in qualifying. Stayed in the lead for probably 20 laps of the race, I think. Yeah, incredibly bad luck in the last 2 laps with Jelly's incredible race strategy with saving the ERS for the last 2.
Well, there's just about time. We do have a small delay here, so there's just about time to share the race on socials with your friends. Get all your mates in. Start having a bit of banter in the chat and let them know that someone just took pole by 1,000th of a second. Subscribe to the channel. Lightning mentioned F2. That'll be same time tomorrow, followed by all the other divisions the rest of the week. And you can find the social links at the very top of the live chat. Or can you? I don't think I put it in today. That was a bit silly. It's at Invictus RL and at Webbo Red 5 for me. Lightning, I'm not sure quite what the weather forecast is at the moment, but it's looking a little bit murky in the pit lane right now.
I will try and find out, but the starting sequence is saying that it's 5 seconds till the start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that glitched?
No, we have just got the formation lap in place, so let's hope that doesn't mean a glitch is on its way.
Because usually it's 2 minutes. I think someone may have clicked ready up too early.
Yeah, I think Simon called that as well. So there's also time, everyone, while we get through this first couple of corners to go ahead and like the video today, please. It's a very small thing you can do just to say thank you for the stream and the race running. Jelly said someone joined during quali. Yeah, that was Luke Lira in the lone Aston Martin. So Warrislander, I've done it already. War Islander in the Alfa Romeo takes the pole from Max, and Living Wall back up, underlining the Alfa Romeo pace today. Then Luke Bailey in the McLaren, Helm in the Mercedes, and M. Doran, Luke Bailey's teammate, in 7th place. Everybody on softs down to 13th. But mediums are the way to go for Simply 90, Matty and MV Bull. So Haas running the same strategy out there in 14th and 16th. And we have Luke Lira at the back, hoping to gain some places on the soft tyres. Of course, Luke Lira would have no idea who had selected what tyres. He just had to pick his strategy, as everybody else does, without any form of information, I think.
Yeah, and hopefully he got his setup on, and also it's confusing because he's in the Aston Martin, previous races in the Ferrari, so I'm not sure if he's a reserve driver or
right.
clicked the wrong car.
Could well be. Could well be. Well, they're heading down the back straight. We will have 27 racing laps for you, hopefully without too many in the company of Bernd Mailander. But I doubt we will get through this one without anything at all. And a reminder and a thank you to our sponsors, who are Nelcott Hall Hotel, Golf and Country Club, who are Driver61, Gridfinder.com and GT Omega. And if you want a GT Omega affiliate link for a discount, you can find that on the Invictus Racing League website, I do believe. So, assembling to the grid then. I know, Lightning, you'll try and watch from further back, but we will focus the stream on the front of the grid.
Absolutely.
And Lightning can fill us in if anything major happens as they scream down towards the Rettifilio chicane for the first time. How many drivers will finish this race? Who will claim the victory? These are the big questions for me as we look to start round 2 of Invictus Racing League's F1 division. Flags flying in the stands. Fans are ready.
A glitch.
Yeah.
Luke is in the wall.
Has Luke failed to park? Yes, Luke has failed to park.
That's really
properly.
funny. Look at that. Hopefully this isn't. Well,
he's actually still going.
Reversing.
Yeah.
Oh my! Can he? Is he starting the race without everybody else? He is. Oh, he's doing the formation lap now. Oh, he's left the session.
No, he's left the session. Okay, so that should reset us back. And I didn't share your confidence, I have to say, Lightning, that the glitch had been fixed.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. I hope.
Well, the car is still running.
I think the car is doing the formation lap because he didn't do it before. So we're just gonna have to wait, I think, another minute or so.
Ah, right. Well, that won't affect anybody's tyre temperatures, will it?
Maybe to the negative. I can go on board and see. It doesn't look like it's changing.
Looks
yeah,
like
90
he's gone
on the front,
to
85
AI.
on the rear.
I don't want to miss the start when it happens. He is in AI, unfortunately, so we have a ghost car running around.
Everyone's tire temperature seemingly the same.
Oh.
What's this?
Is it a restart?
Everybody. It's restarting itself. Luke Lira has joined. Oh!
And we're away, are we? Yes, I'm afraid we are. It's War Islander away with the lead. Living Wall getting past Max nicely, but Max will hold the inside line as they go in towards the first chicane. Max demanding space on the outside of the circuit and holding second place with that excellent traction on the way out of turn 3. And away then. M. Doran moving up. Luke Bailey's obviously had a nightmare of a start, and I'm pretty sure another car, Lightning, was slow off the start there away from the front of the grid.
Simply 90 is at the back of the grid. Luke Bailey is 13th from, I believe, 5th place. So that's a terrible start from him.
Yeah, and Living Wall is being swamped. He's been passed by M. Doran, by Helm, by Delange, now Jelly, as they're queuing up to pass Living Wall. I think Living Wall may have some damage or a problem because the driver's just screaming on by. Now Speed Queen and Reshka. Living Wall tumbling down the order, but we've got half a second of a lead for War Islander from Max. and then another 1.4 seconds, would you believe, back to Doran after the rest of the drivers at the front of the grid have done their best to head backwards. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. It's around the Ascari chicane. It's the lone Aston Martin of Luke Lira, who is not having a very good showing tonight at all, unfortunately. So, Max getting a good slipstream. He's now down to 0.3 of a second away from War Islander at the front.
Yeah, Beckett just got a 5-second penalty trying to overtake Livingwall in the pit lane. Livingwall with damage, so is Backer, and so is Burmeister, I believe. They all had damage, and now they're all getting it changed.
Wow. Okay, so 3 drivers in the pits. Hard tyres on Burmeister's car as Max continues to chase down War Islander. We've got a similar gap between 3rd and 4th. Doran with mirrors full of Helm.
Oh, War Islander made a mistake into Lesmo 1, and he's now completely under pressure from Max, who's in the slipstream, but nothing to do at the moment with no DRS.
No, there's very little in the way of slipstream effect down that short run.
Oh, another mistake from War Islander through Ascari, a little bit wide.
That's crazy. He needs to get himself back under control, back under rhythm. Max peeking down the inside towards Parabolica. No way through just yet. Lap 2 almost finished, and War Islander leads from Max by 0.3 of a second. Then Doran and Helm close together on track.
Max is going to go for it. Max is going to go for it around the outside.
He's forced to the outside as War Islander takes the inside line. Good positioning from Max. Knows where the traction is, where the braking performance can be had on the way in, and safely through. Not even the slightest bit of contact through there, Lightning.
No, it was a very perfect move. Seriously late braking that. Very, very talented from Max.
Which is not easy when the tyres have been cold, when you're going for your first real overtake.
Yeah,
and it's
and
the first time not using a car in front as almost a reference point.
Oh my goodness me! War Islander, huge mistake through Lesmo 1. So much oversteer, and it's a second gap already. Or very, very close to be a second gap. But I think that he has DRS, so he's going to cut that gap down a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like Doran's going to be right on the edge, right on the gearbox shortly. War Islander's trying his best to stay within this 1 second of Max, but one more error in a corner like he's had maybe 3 in the last lap, and he will be well outside of that 1 second. It's almost outside. It is outside, but it's just after the detection zone. Yeah. I think as Max gets the de facto fastest lap, 22.761. War Islander has got the DRS right now, but can he gain back that time that he loses in the corners?
Meanwhile, yeah, Jelly is overtaking Delange into turn 1, and Speed Queen is right on the back, waiting for any mistake to happen so that she can pounce. Luke with the fastest lap, so trying to make up for his mistake on the first lap.
Interesting that, because he seemed to get by Talking L's, pick up fastest lap, and then lose the place again back to Talking L's. It was very interesting to see him on the grid, hopping up and down.
Luke Bailey, yeah, getting, as you said, overtaken by Els, so that's not going to help his fight back.
What about War Islander down to 1.5 seconds away from Max now? Another mistake, you fancy?
I think that he must have just chosen a time trial setup, go for pole, and then it's incredibly oversteer in the race. Yeah. With the high fuel loads and the wearing tyres. It's just really not working out for him. It's just confusing.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Speed Queen then shaping for a move on Delange before the Parabolica. Not a great place to overtake, given the DRS being
Jenny's going in the pits. No, never mind.
Okay, we've got Helm on the back of Doran on the back of War Islander. And here comes Helm. Oh, not quite. Let's get back and see what these 4 are up to. Jelly, Delange, Speed Queen and Reshka.
Luke past Els again. Oh, and Luke makes a huge mistake into the chicane. Oversteer, hits Els on the front wing. Not sure if this is damage for either of them. But Oh,
Yeah,
and Enduran spins. Enduran has spun.
Lap 5 at the nightmare lap for the McLaren team as they both go round, one after the other. So Enduran down to 13th, make that 14th. I think he'll recover.
Oh, another mistake from Luke on the exit of the second chicane. Under pressure from Els again.
Are we seeing accelerated tyre drop-off due to the temperatures?
I'm not sure, but everybody seems to be struggling with traction. Jaum gets past War Islander, so Mercedes making up more places.
Yeah, it's absolutely forever forward for the Mercedes team at the moment. War Islander trying to come back, but you wouldn't really want to make an overtake before that detection line as they pass over it right there. In fact, he gives up quite a significant lift on the way into Parabolica to make sure he didn't get too far ahead, which means he's got to spend a lot of this straight catching back. There goes the DRS. He goes to the inside. Helm lets him have that inside line. Doesn't fancy scrubbing the tyres. And no other moves then further back. Jelly leads in 4th from Delange.
War Islander made a mistake into the first chicane, and Jaum has an amazing exit around the outside of Curva Grande into the second chicane. Who will prevail? Jaum with the inside line.
It's a tricky place to make it overtake the inside line into Della Roggia, but he got it done, just got his nose ahead, claimed the track, claimed the racing line, although that looked a little bit ropey on the way into Lesmo 1 from Helm, so he's obviously pushing hard, as we know is War Islander, who is struggling to hang on to this car at the moment.
Meanwhile, Bakker managed to get past Livingwall and make a 1.5 second gap after the early pit stops for them. So hopefully our championship leader can fight back.
Just riding on board with War Islander, who seemingly drifting into the first part of Ascari, almost backing the car in. Amazing stuff. We've got Charlie joining us to rag on Burmeister. He'll suffer the wrath of Abby. He may even wake Abby from the dead. We haven't seen her yet tonight. And Ivan joins us as well. Here comes War Islander down the inside with DRS, trying to get that car stopped, and these drivers are pushing themselves back towards the clutches of the next 4 drivers. We're going to have a 6-way battle pretty soon. Now it's Helm's turn to use the slipstream through Curva Grande. Cracking stuff here.
I've had information from Bakker that I think most drivers started with 50-degree tyres.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, they're meant to be starting with around 85, 90 degrees to be in working range. So, yeah, that's not going to be good.
No, it will explain a lot of the sliding we've seen, but it doesn't necessarily explain to me why we are still seeing a lot of sliding around Lightning.
Yeah, I'm perplexed, to be honest. It's just some drivers like Max have been great on traction, no mistakes so far, touch wood. And then you have the likes of War Islander, who have just been falling backwards and backwards. Now 4 seconds between him and Max. Jaum thinking about going up the inside of Parabolica, but backs out of it.
That looked to me like War Islander knew exactly what he was doing. In comes Helm into the pits. Looked like War Islander knew what he was doing. Give him the inside. He knew he wasn't going to go for the move, and then chop across his front wing to disrupt the aero Lightning.
That is a very good idea, and it somewhat worked, but he does pit in the end, so all to no avail.
I think he felt he was starting to get slowed by War Islander, and if his tyres are getting towards the tipping point, it's we're approaching 1/3 distance, a fairly good time to go for the medium tyres.
Yeah, mediums will last until the end quite easily. Not much tyre wear around this circuit.
No, unless you start on 50-degree tyres, in which case...
Yeah, that's going to be
it's going to chew them up.
A bit of a difference then.
Again, another blue and yellow helmet there for Jelly this time. It looks like Delange and Speed Queen going at it. Speed Queen trying to make a move down the inside.
Els has really taken Luke, and now Luke is looking for the move again. Into Ascari, he looks, but way too far back at the moment.
Yeah, Els moving up really well through this race so far.
Yeah, managing to defend from Luke. We've got a pretty good qualifying position.
Who's that coming in the pits? It's
War Islander.
now. In he comes then from
the mediums.
The front of the grid. Some more arguing down into the Rettifilio. Speed Queen looking like she's struggling on those soft tyres to get the car stopped. She went from attacking the Red Bull of Delange to defending from the Williams of Reshka in just a matter of a few metres. You can see the places gained. Jelly with the biggest gain at the front of the field. Matty, Luke Lira fairly equal, but of course gaining more from drivers who have suffered incidents and accidents down in the field. We've just got the one penalty so far. That was Bakker in the pits, wasn't it? With a pit lane speed entry.
He will have to pit again, so that will get removed during the race.
What we have so far, Lightning, is 19 drivers still in this race. As they say that.
I think GTX Matty is in the gravel, but not out of the race. No damage either. Just a big mistake in the exit.
Yeah, you can see him dropping back there. That's good news for War Islander, who wants to get some clear air in front of him. And looking good so far. Looks like he's got a Mercedes of Helm ahead of him, who got the underlap working. Into the pits comes Jelly then from P2, tumbling down the order, and we'll see if War Islander and Helm manage to stay ahead. Max stays out, 5.3 seconds now, Max's gap. And we watch Speed Queen have another go at Delange, but I really feel like she hasn't got the braking power on this set of tyres right now.
Speed Queen, we know she has brilliant racecraft, but the tyres will be significantly going off at this point.
She's got a great run around the outside of Curva Grande. If she can hold that line and keep the braking, no, she just hasn't got the confidence in the brakes to make a 50-50 move work. But we also know that she's very, very race seasoned. She knows what she's doing. She won't go for risky moves. Rarely do you ever see her involved in a contact situation.
No,
and a third of a second now.
Any crashes last season with her involved? Neither with Max, I don't believe. So Alpine clean and fast, as we've seen from Max. 6.5 second gap.
Absolutely.
To Delange.
We'll wait to see if Max comes in. But Helm got clear of Jelly, but Jelly got clear of War Islander. So I think that traffic that War Islander came out into did, as Ivan says in the chat, almost exactly the same time. Did he action the overcut? He did, but I think that was to do with traffic. Max and Delange both in the pit, so Speed Queen inherits the lead, still holding off Reshka.
Where will Max feed out? Will it be behind War Islander? I don't think so.
He had such a good gap. I think he's going to get himself out in front of, even in front of Helm, isn't he? That car he's chasing is MV Bull, who's not in this fight at all.
No,
but he won't be happy.
That he gets ahead, and he does.
Yeah, claimed that section of the racetrack, didn't he? And that was a hairy moment there for Max temporarily, as Helm goes storming past MV Bull.
Will MV try and fight back, despite not being in the race with these guys?
Foxy joins us to say, did we miss him? I'd completely forgotten about him for a minute there.
Meanwhile, Jelly goes up the inside of Lesmo 1 on MV Bull.
So he does. MV Bull's got to be thinking it's deja vu all over again, as a Mercedes bullies him off from the inside of the track.
But I think MV Bull's going to go up the inside here, just because he can. Yes, he is. Up the inside of Ascari.
I don't blame him, frankly.
Super deep. Oh, and he spins and he's out of the race. Well,
our first retirement. And will that trigger a safety car? He's on the track.
I think it might. Yes,
there we go. Speed Queen and Reshka in the pits. Yeah, she's gone in the pits at the very stroke. You can see the safety cars just coming out of the pits in front of her in the pit lane. So into the pit she comes. Everyone else on the Delta. So they won't be able to run at full racing speed to catch the safety car yet. Max
1-2.
Takes that place back. Down the back straight comes, down the start-finish straight comes Jelly, screaming away. How he stayed negative on his Delta, I'm not quite sure. And War Islander getting between. No?
You can cheese the delta to try and get ahead of someone that's in the pits and then completely slow down to not get a drive through. I've done that a few times and it has worked out quite well.
Did you say cheat or cheese? Did you use cheese?
I said cheese.
Cheese as a verb.
Yeah.
I cheese,
sorry.
you cheese, they
like,
cheese.
Cheesing, it's a thing that people say. You cheese the delta to, like, you know. Well, technically it is cheating, I guess, but
hands up,
you know.
hands up in the live chat if you've heard people use the word cheese as a verb, because that one's definitely new on me. So under safety car orders we go. Lap 12. It's Max, Jelly, and Speed Queen, Warlander, Reshka, Delange, Luke Bailey, Talking Else, and then we've got Luke Lira, who didn't even qualify tonight, who many drivers will not be thanking for joining us just at the dying embers of qualifying and triggering a glitch. Then Simply 90, Haum, surprisingly down in 11th Lightning, then Living Wall, Backer, Burmeister, M. Doran, and Matty. 16 car field.
Haum going for the soft tyres. Interesting.
Yeah. So what is all that about? But why is Haum so much further back than everybody else?
Because I think he already pit for mediums, and then in the safety car he pit for softs.
Wow, okay, so going for at least a 2-stopper tonight. Jelly up 8 places from his starting position, as is Luke Lira. Down 9, Living Wall, and Backer with Doran down 8. But really, those are your highlights. Ereshka up 6, having a good one. And we'll go for at least another lap under the safety car here.
Well, Speed Queen and I think it was Delange that pit with her under the safety car. No, it was Simply. I'm not sure, but Speed Queen is up in the top 3. That has absolutely helped her race immensely.
Yeah.
Fresher tyre and up more positions than she would be had the safety car not come out, which is meaning that the chances of a Alpine 1-2 are much higher than they were just a couple of laps ago.
Definitely. It looks like Backer has scrubbed that penalty off in the pits.
Yep.
And we've just got the 1 5-second penalty currently for Living Wall out there. They've I don't think that the safety car has really ruined or gifted anybody a race here. Most of the pit stops were done or just about to be in progress. It's not like someone suddenly
there's not a completely dramatic difference.
Yeah.
Speed Queen would have been still up at least in the top 4 or 5. But yeah, it's just nullified Max's 4-second gap is the primary difference, I think.
But,
safety car in this lap now.
I'm very interested to see what happens with Haum here. From P10 on the soft tyres, he's not going to be able to get 14 out of them, is he? Surely not.
Well,
we'll join on board Speed Queen as we wait for Max to go. I wonder if Max and Speed Queen are in a party and can coordinate this this movement. Probably not.
Clever.
Away he goes then. Jelly is right with him. Speed Queen's hasn't lost too many metres there at all. It looks like War Islander is likely to be on the defensive as they
Luke
head down.
up the inside of Els, already side by side.
As they head into Retafilio.
Els
Williams has gone very wide. Was that Els?
Yep, it was. And Luke goes around his outside.
Yeah.
And Jaum also gets past him. And now he's under pressure from Living Wall.
Speed Queen right on the back of Jelly. She has great traction out of that. Too much going on.
Using these soft tyres to his advantage.
There it goes. Luke Lira rather than Luke Bailey, who is now ahead of him. So he's needing to dispatch with
huge
2
mistake
loops.
from Luke Bailey into the exit of Lesmo 1. Another mistake from Delange in the exit of Lesmo 2. So
both drivers still on it. They're still competitive, but it looks like
around the outside.
Haum coming down. Luke Bailey just holding the inside line on him. So lap 14 almost done with.
And he gets past on the straight, does Haum on Luke. Next target is Delange. 3 places made up, or 4 places made up on this safety car restart.
That's the soft tyres for you.
Tyres to work, and a mega exit. And slipstream on Delange. He's going to go for it to the first chicane. He's looking for the move. Will he send it on the brakes?
But he's a long way back. He'll have better braking performance. Needs to avoid running into the back. And just about gets the car stopped in time. Caught almost between decisions there. And now he's got a good run out of Rettifilio through Curva Grande. He can't get the overtake done, or he can't get quite alongside. He's down the outside. That's not a great position to be in. And he tries to turn in on the back of Delange, who is slow on the brakes and in towards the apex. But it was his corner to be slow in. Helm a little bit impatient here, Lightning, maybe.
Yeah, he's got another 7 laps of these tyres being better than the mediums, so he can somewhat afford to slow down a bit, make sure he doesn't ruin his race. But up the inside of Ascari he goes, super late braking, an absolute decisive move there, and making Delange lose 6-7 tenths, so no chance of him fighting back.
Absolutely, doing a great job up there. He'll be trying to get himself back on terms at the back of Reshka, who will be stuck in a DRS train, but Helm's going to have to earn that DRS with a good strong run through the next lap. DRS now enabled, but not until the next zone, which will be on the approach to Ascari.
Yeah. I
think big under rotation on Reshka's right front there as he breaks down into the Rettifilio. I think struggling on the brake lockup.
I think that Jam's strategy here is just to push incredibly hard until these tyres wear out. Try and get the lead of the race, and then just defend for the last dying laps.
I think he might be banking on a second safety car. I think
that's a very good point. Could be doing that. But he's seriously so much faster than everybody else.
Brent says Helm needs to overtake cars nearly every corner to make this strategy work.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Well, he's gained half the deficit he needed on Reshka in 1 lap, so he's clearly got tremendous pace, as these medium tyres are still not really in the happy place, the good working range.
But I think Reshka's going to make a move on War Islander here, and Zhao might make a move on both of them.
Well, let's watch and wait and see. Right on board.
121.9. That's the fastest lap.
Reshka goes towards the inside. He's got the overspeed that Helm hasn't got on him. They tiptoe their way around each other. Helm is going to go for the inside on both of them. Here he goes up towards War Islander, who sees him coming at the last moment, blocks him across. Reshka gets the 4th place. War Islander now on the defensive, and Helm shapes to the inside. War Islander follows, and he'll know he can sell a dummy if he wants to. He's quick through here, surely mashing the ERS button to get that kind of overspeed, but not quite enough alongside to claim the corner.
He will get it on this straight though. Look at how much traction he gets on the exit. But War Islander, a huge boost in Reshka's slipstream. Will he go for it into Ascari? No, he doesn't. The grip of these soft tyres versus these mediums is just incredible.
It's amazing right now, but the race will drop away from him. He's got great speed here. Surely he's not overspending at this point. Down the inside into Parabolica.
Oh,
from nowhere, almost, yeah, it really bullies War Islander off the track. You wouldn't expect someone to make a pass there, and perhaps that's why he was successful to a point. War Islander may have claims on a bit of an appeal on that particular move, but Helm also then gets past Reshka as well, so up to 4th place now, 2.3 seconds back from Speed Queen, who is next on the attack to Jelly. Jelly caught between the 2 Alpines here.
I think that Helm has about 4 more laps of this advantage before it transfers back to the mediums being faster, so he's got to make moves quickly, cut down that gap.
Yeah, so it's now 1.9 seconds, lap 18. Max leads, but has not this time been able to pull away from Jelly and Speed Queen. He's not got it his own way here, Max. He did all the hard work, and it was all to nothing. He didn't even get a tyre advantage out of it, or a pit stop advantage. He's now down within a second. He needs his teammate to be with him on track.
Max has 13% ERS, Jelly has 55.
Oof.
This is really not looking good for Max, who's been dominating this race for the first half. This is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
A move is about to happen. Speed Queen, she has 25%. She can make a move, try and
remember, we waited all season last season for Max to get his first win, and he did it.
I know.
And if he came along on race 2, I'm sure he'd be fantastically happy about it, but at the moment you've got to feel like he might even be disappointed if he doesn't get the win tonight.
Yeah, well, after dominating that much, you would be pretty heartbroken. You'd feel a bit disheartened by getting the win taken from you, but we still have 8 laps to go. There's plenty that can happen in that amount of time.
Absolutely. As the tyres start to die off, Helm's attack, I think it's still on course. He's now, what, 0.8 of a second?
1.5 seconds in 1.5 laps, so that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely, but his tyres will start to go off. 8 more on top of the 6 he's already done is going to make for a very difficult hold your breath every time through Ascari kind of a finish to the race for Helm, and he'll be a little bit vulnerable. You fancy War Island now, a 3-second penalty. That's going to affect his race as Delange is right behind him on track.
Yeah,
as well.
That'll drop him back to P9, I believe. But Jaum on the back of Speed Queen already.
Yeah. Here he comes then. 0.2 of a second with a new fastest lap, 21.911. Speed Queen knows he's there. Showed him the inside. Dive bomb, Ricciardo-like move coming from Helm as Speed Queen holds her line, gets back on the traction zone in time. We know she's quick out of that traction zone, but is she as quick as Helm? Helm's got a good line here. So has Speed Queen. She goes to the middle of the road, but that leaves a window for Helm. Dives down the inside into Della Roggia. A little bit of contact as seemingly indicated from the driver's handshaking as he then drifts his way into Lesmo 1. Style points are plenty for Helm. Will his teammate get out of the way as he sees his stablemate here getting on so quickly through the race? I wonder how generous Jelly is feeling.
This is seriously exciting. I have no idea what's going to happen. Will Jam's tyres go completely off the cliff? Jelly makes a bit of a mistake there, going wide at the exit of Ascari. Not going to help his run on the start-finish straight. Speed Queen already 7/10 back after that battle.
Yeah, she was hanging on to the back of Jelly, but Helm has got in between them, and she's not able to quite stay with them. Helm is waiting to be let by from his teammate.
Yeah, Max seems to always get such fantastic exits off of Parabolica, which has been saving him for the past few laps. Despite much less ERS, he's managed to make it work with his driving skill.
Well, I hope we hang on to a 4-way battle for the lead. It looks like Helm, 1/4 of a second behind his teammate. Jelly will believe in his own pace after the first race, after qualifying, and will not necessarily be too concerned with what's going on in his mirrors. Helm, though, will be running into the back of him if he goes this close. We're closing in on 100 comments already, with 6 laps to go. 100 comments in the live chat, and we're very grateful for everybody's input. Helm then, DRS train, both Mercedes stuck behind the Alpine of Max. And we'll see if Helm, look at the grip Helm has got going through Ascari. It's just coming to nothing lightning at this point.
Well, 8 lap old softs are going to be around 45-50% worn, I reckon. Maybe a bit less than that, but still not going to be at their peak performance. Still gets a good exit on the back of Jelly.
But that speed just evens itself out. They hit VMAX, then they hit the DRS.
Max has 0% ERS here.
Max has gone, yeah, he's Jelly absolutely used everything
Jelly with 40%, so
Wow.
it's seriously not looking good here. Meanwhile, Delange and War Islander battling away. But there's a battle for the lead here between the top three, which is a bit more important.
Definitely is. I'm staying with the battle at the lead, but keep us posted. How is going to really struggle here. Yeah, he's really, really risking. Can you imagine if he takes himself and his teammate out?
I mean, it's looking very feisty here, so anything can happen.
Yeah, well, Ivan's reading our minds still. He says, can you imagine if we have the same thing happening as the Spanish Grand Prix with the two Mercedes? It does look ever more likely. You'd feel like Jelly just needs to get out of his teammate's way now. Clearly, Helm is faster. The better result for Mercedes potentially is to let Helm by here and use his tyres.
Such oversteer on the exit of Ascari there. He's under pressure.
And he follows the movement of his teammate behind him just to close off the track. That's going to give Max that just precious 0.2 of a second reprieve on the way out. Jelly slower away from the corner slower than Helm and Max.
Jelly must have lower wings, but I think he's going to go for it here on Max. He looks for it, but he doesn't go for it too far back.
Max is playing really this very, very cool. He's not even shaping for a defence at this point. I think he knows his gaps.
He's a very talented driver, very experienced. He knows what to do in this situation. I'm just so nervous. It's a 4/10 covering the top three.
4 laps to go as well. Four complete laps to go. Max leads from Jelly, Helm and Speed Queen.
Speed Queen is going to be catching up with his battling between these two Mercedes. Look at how close they are. They're just
Helm
pushing
was
each other
counter-steering through Lesmo too as well.
10-lap-old softs, but the fuel levels are diminishing, meaning they will wear out less. Oh my goodness, Jelly just manages to block down there.
He was so tempted, wasn't he? So tempted to go for it.
That would have affected both of them though. They would have lost them both time against Max.
Another penalty in the bank for Luke Bailey tonight, unfortunately. You can see the difference in steering angle as Helm puts the steering on, takes it off and puts it back on again as Jelly is moving around under braking, trying to put him off.
Jelly's going to go for a move on Max. Max has to defend. He's not doing so.
What about Helm? What's Helm going to do here? They run side by side. Max claims the outside line and Helm with a good undercut. Good move from Max, good positioning, and here comes Helm on the inside of his teammate now. They're going round Curva Grande, but he'll have the inside into the next corner. Will he even have the inside over Max? Max to the inside. I quite believe what I'm looking at. Max, hang on.
Max.
Oh, round goes Jelly. One of them had to go. And Speed Queen's caught right back up, and now Helm, from being 2-on-1 for the Mercedes, is now 1-on-2 against the Alpines. Wow.
This is heartbreaking for Mercedes. But,
something had to go there, didn't it?
I think Max left the room, but it's just that Jelly was just pinched on the outside. It was almost going to be 3 wide to that chicane, which would have been nearly impossible. It was
anyone's corner into De La Roggia, but Max prevailed at this point.
War Islander is spun, I think. Yep, he's in the gravel.
I can see a car spinning.
Yeah.
And what does Helm do now?
Well, Max and Helm have the same ERS levels, and the tyres. Max is probably going to be in the advantage soon. 2 laps to go, or 3 laps.
Look at the overspeed that Helm's got. Because Max has got no ERS to deploy. Down the inside, Max trying to hold on to the outside line, can't do it. Helm finally takes the lead, but Max, if he can just reset himself, should know that his tyres will be in better shape than Helm's in the last 2 laps. But Helm's underlying pace tonight, Lightning, it seems to be enough.
It's seriously impressive on these really old softs that he's managing to get such pace out of them. Max, it's critical that he stays within a second here to get that DRS. Yeah. Absolutely critical.
He's slipping back to 6/10 now. Speed Queen moving around behind him, needs to give him a breather, and then they can both be on the attack at the end.
I think the Alpine 1-2 is looking slimmer and slimmer.
Foxy is...
bit of oversteer into turn 1 for Helm.
So those soft tyres properly going off now. The gap drops down below 0.4 of a second as they head towards the detection point. 2 complete laps to go. Oh, this is going to be an absolute nail-biter to finish this race.
I'm just so surprised that Max has managed to hold on. It's really good to see. Come on, there.
He's not as quick away from the final corner, but he's got the overspeed. Helm is in the middle of the track. Oh! Very interesting tactics from both drivers, not wishing to go for a dive bomb just yet. But I think Max might go for it as the final lap starts. Yeah, definitely.
He lifted off because he didn't know where Jam was going to go. I think he was looking for a move, but Jam just moved just at the right time. Another yellow flag. I'm not sure who spun.
That could really affect everybody if we end up with a big yellow flag. Yeah, as you say. First in the first race, down to 10th in the second race. But how Max and Speed Queen, consistent point scoring so far, at least. The sun appears to be in Max's eyes as he goes down Curva del Seraglio and into Ascari. Then should have a good run out of Ascari. Should have better traction now. The traction looks to be about even on both cars.
The pace is even. I think the tyres are pretty equal, but Jam has 20% ERS and Max has 30.
So Max has been charging
at the moment. He's
going for it. Helm has gone. Helm spent everything. Here comes Max with the overspeed. Will he shape to the inside? He will.
Yes, he does.
Slight move there. This is for the lead. So Max takes the lead at the start of the first lap. The last lap now. Brake discs aglow and he just has to hang on. He's hung on so much through this race. I can see Jelly and Delange coming into contact in the background on the way into Rettifilio, but it's all about who can win this race. With almost no ERS left, it's Max from Helm and Speed Queen paying a watching brief, waiting for something to go wrong between the front two.
Oh my goodness, my heart is racing. I can't imagine what it's like for these two drivers.
What a show they've put on for us, and I just hope we can have a clean and fair finish. Max navigating the second Lesmo, just the dreaded Ascari and Parabolica left to go. Helm will go for it, I feel sure, as they head towards Ascari. He's not close enough. Max, can he hold on through Ascari as they flirt with danger on the curbs? On the first the left, then the right, then the left. Max is derating. There's no DRS on this point. He just needs to get the car into Parabolica and out safely. Job number 1 done. Job number 2 as Helm is counter steering on his way out. It's going to be Max. It's going to be Max. Max takes the win in Monza from Helm and Speed Queen. Brilliant performance from everybody on the podium. What a fantastic race. We see Reshka. Jelly promotes to 5th after some penalties. Then Delange and Luke Bailey. I'm out of breath, Lightning. That was astonishing quality from the start of qualifying to the checkered flag.
That was seriously, what a stunning race. We have another battle between 3 or 4 drivers at least for the lead, just like we had in round 1. Oh my goodness me. That was just crazy.
A lot of love coming in for the race, and absolutely justifiably. I hope you've been enjoying it. Do stick around. We'll try and get hold of Max for a quick interview at the end of the race. But what an amazing race. How maybe slightly cold comfort, but he gets driver of the day given from the game. And an incredible performance from all 3 on the podium, as I mentioned. Max, though, last season's Mr. Consistency, only scoring 1 win, but lots of podium finishes. He takes the win. It doesn't wait all season. This time it's race 2 to secure his first win for Max. First, he would hope, of many, as Helm from the LFR team, and then Speed Queen, Max's teammate, securing a double Alpine podium. Fantastic stuff.
I believe that gives Max the championship lead.
Well, pending any steward inquiries or adjustments, absolutely, but we call it as we see it during the race. Max takes the win by just under 0.5 of a second from Speed Queen and Reshka. Then Jelly, Delange, Luke Bailey, War Islander, Simply 90, taking else, then all scoring points tonight. Just outside and in P11 comes Livingwall, then M. Doran. Burmeister had a bit of a stinker of a race really, but he got the fastest lap at the end. Matty came home 14th. Luke Lira, M. Bakker and MV Bull, your finishing order. It looks like Luke Lira finished 15th. We finished a Monza race with 15 drivers. That was quite incredible. Honestly, we usually see less than half the drivers finish in league racing, but these drivers committed to the very end and to high class, high quality racing. A little bit of I guess you could say Monday morning quarterbacking going on with strategy and everything.
We have Max in the interview.
Ah, fantastic!
Which, is nice to hear.
Max, just before I cut to you, do make sure your audio setting is set to share during broadcast, and we will just remind ourselves that it was Max who took the win. It looked very, very close at the end there from Helm and then followed by Speed Queen. But Max, congratulations. We've been saying in the commentary that you waited all season last season to get your first win, and the second one's come along in race 2 of this season.
Yes, what can I say? Another really, really tricky race. I've got to say a word first to Jelly. I've looked into the replay. It was hard racing but fair, I think. So I'm really, really sorry for him because we had a great battle in the front. So it's always a shame to see another driver spinning around. So yeah, just a few words for him before everything. But yeah, I'm so glad. Plus, I think Speed Queen finished third.
Yep.
So it's great for Alpine the championship. I think Mercedes are going to be really, really tough to fight. I think it's the little fight between Alpine and Mercedes will continue this season, I'm sure.
Oh, it's fantastic stuff. Talk us through your heart rate, your nerves towards the end of that race. Did you feel like you had it under control, or you just didn't seem to have the same domination that you had before the safety car?
Yeah, well, it was kind of easy before that because no driver was under 1 second from me. So I was safe from DRS and all the drivers were battling each other behind. So I just had to do my race all alone. And then I saw the safety car. So obviously it changed things a bit. But the 10 last laps were really, really, really tricky. I was wondering why the Mercedes didn't try to overtake me. I was like, maybe they are waiting for the last lap or something like that, because when I saw that, I think it was his first race at Mercedes, so I don't remember his name actually. But when he overtook me, like lap 25 or something like that, I had an opportunity to overtake him at lap 26. But I said to myself, I have to wait for the last lap, because normally, without the DRS in the last lap, it would be okay for me. And I think it was the perfect calculation for me, because if I overtook him one lap before, I think I finished second. So it was really, really tricky, and you always see things like this at Monza. This is why this place is so unique. So yeah, I'm glad to have one here.
Well, congratulations. A really, really good race. Yeah. You kept really cool, it looked like, from the outside at least. Looked like you were...
I was not.
But you, in terms of any neutrals watching, I think we were all cheering you on because you had the pace, you took the lead, you had a gap, and then it was taken from you. But yeah, you've done a great job. Yeah, and picking exactly the right moment to clap back at the Mercedes of Helm. Who got you towards the end there. He was on soft tyres. Were you aware of the tyre difference?
Well, actually, I wasn't worried about him, because I thought he was far behind. And then 6 or 7 laps from the finish line, I saw him before with soft tyres. And I was like, it's going to be a problem because he was the fastest guy on the track.
Yeah.
And I said, maybe Speed Queen can do something because she had the DRS from the other Mercedes. But I think the Mercedes guy kind of like battled each other. I thought they were gonna try to help each other in being P1, but I think they were battling behind. So I was like, okay, that's convenient for me.
It was. We were expecting the Mercedes to swap round, but it never happened. And then, of course, disaster struck for Jelly, and he got almost kind of boxed into going to your outside, I think, while you were fairly defending the corner, and he couldn't really take his line back because his teammate was there. So there was contact. He spun. It looked like it was just something. It was like a pan of water that was just going to boil over that we were watching and waiting for it to happen.
Yeah. That moment was wow. That was really, really tense. Seeing like the two Mercedes just behind, I was like, we are not going to take this corner like the three of us. So it was going. I was scared about the accident, and eventually it happened. Hopefully I was on the good side of it, but it's just luck. Sometimes it's on your side. So I'm glad today I was able to keep the Mercedes behind and to win for Alpine, because we have huge expectation, huge ambition for this season with Speed Queen.
Terrific. Congratulations, Max. I hope we get to talk again and you're back on the podium again very soon. But congratulations on a fantastic race.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Lightning, anybody else joined us, or are we going to restrict it to one tonight?
Sadly, no one else has joined. I have asked, but they haven't joined as of yet.
Well, I know that Speed Queen's always good value for a chat, but it looks like she's onto the tee already. She's needs the post-race drink. So sadly we won't hear from her. It doesn't sound like. But Lightning, any takeaways, any sort of observations from your side while we were chatting with Max there?
Well, all I can say is that race was seriously exciting. I'd say it's more exciting than some real F1 races, but I'm not even joking. Seriously, it was great. It was so fun.
It looks like we might have a quick word with Jelly or Yelly. I mean, that's going to be my first question for him. Just check your audio settings for me as you join the press conference, because so many times I've done interviews where I'm the only person that anyone can hear. But Jelly, Yelly, how do you prefer to be called?
Yella.
Yella, yeah. Excellent stuff. Okay, so Yella, talk us through that race. I mean, it looked like it was looking so good for you until the penultimate lap there.
Well, first of all, I wasn't expecting much since my qualifying pace was a little bit behind. I only could do my banker lap, and I spun twice. I started P10, I think, just at the back of the mandatory tire runner. So I was already not thinking to get that close to a podium, but once I was trying to do the same as I did last week, stay behind, and on the last lap, I saw him have the red light the whole time, so I was trying to defend from getting overtaken and not overtake P1, just as I did last week, but my teammate was very close up my ass, so I tried to, I had to overtake Max, and then I tried to let him pass again. He was on my inside, and then my teammate was also on the inside. So when I wanted to go to the right again, I might have given him too much room, but I went onto the curb and I spun. So it was kind of my own mistake. So, but
it was difficult. It was difficult. They always say 3 cars into one corner don't go, and unfortunately it looks like you were the one that couldn't make it. But a fantastic performance. You had amazing pace. What about the decision there, seeing how your teammate come screaming up behind you on soft tyres? What about the decision to hold on to your position? Were you considering him that he ought to be given a go on the leader?
No. In my first stint on the soft tires, they were dropping off massively. Like I was struggling really with the car, and I was thinking the same would happen with him. I think we had a safety car on lap 13, 12.
Yeah.
So he was on those soft tires for quite a bit, and I already had this plan set up too. I mean, Speed Queen was falling away. I already was like, okay, I could probably get a podium here, maybe even the win. So I was saving up ERS. I think I was about 60 or 70%, and then, yeah, he was very close. And I guess, I mean, I'm used to a lot of pressure. I've done lots of championships, but so I still make mistakes like everyone. So I was kind of blaming my teammate, and it was actually my own mistake. So, but I already, even like 100 meters after my mistake, I was like, fuck, I have to do that different next time.
Absolutely. Apologies to anyone watching for any poor language you might have heard, but congratulations on such a good, strong showing after all. You should be at least able to take away from the race that your race pace is very, very strong indeed.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I was behind drivers actually coming closer and closer, and I was like, I was enjoying that, but in qualifying I was not really happy and not looking forward to race. But yeah, the race start was already good. I think I gained like 3 or 4 positions.
Right. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Well, very sporting of you to join us in the press conference. Appreciate you stopping by, and hopefully we'll be able to interview you as part of a podium celebration very soon. Good showing and hard luck tonight, Jelle.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay, Lightning. Well, I think we better finish up now. Thanks to everybody who has stuck with us to the end. If you're watching on replay, make sure you've liked the video for us and subscribe to the channel, where you should be able to hear some very similar voices tomorrow night, Lightning.
Indeed, I'm looking forward to it.
So we will go again for F2 tomorrow, same time, same place, but from Lightning and from me, Webbo, Red 5, we will catch you on the next race day.